Signing in, touching tips, back with Wilkie and Brennan.
Yeah.
Neither one of us decided to wear anything festive today.
That's true. I guess this is technically our holiday episode. Yeah.
Yeah. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, guys.
I used to say happy holidays and try to be like inclusive about it, but now I feel like if you say happy holidays to like another like meathead American, he gets mad about it.
Yeah, I'm okay
So
with that though. Like meathead Americans, I'm all set with.
Nah, I like them.
I mean, they pay my bills.
Yeah,
to
that's what I'm saying.
me, the happy holidays is just an easier hill to defend. You know, it's just like if I say Merry Christmas, I'm either gonna get the meathead who's like, "Oh yeah, you're fucking right, it's Christmas time, yeah," and then like I'm gonna piss off other people who are like, you know, well, it's not just Christmas. Whereas happy holidays, at least if the meathead's like, what was Merry Christmas? It's like, it was fucking, you know, fucking Hanukkah, it's fucking all sorts of shit. Like, just relax, you know? This includes Thanksgiving, too. Like, I've been saying happy holidays since fucking 4 days before Thanksgiving. I fucking milk this shit for all it's worth this whole season. Like, and I'll fucking say happy holidays and then immediately mention my 3 children. Like,
Oh, nice.
impromptu of nothing, you know? Like, happy holidays. I have 3 children, 12, 10, and 8. Here are their fucking Christmas lists. Give me some money, you fucks.
You're
know?
like ringing the bell.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Salvation Army style.
Please, sir. I saw this thing on the old doom scroll that said dysfunctional families, all they have is like Christmas and Thanksgiving.
What do you mean?
Like basically the guy's saying like if he's basically trying to say that like his goal is to have dinner with his parents so much
Yeah.
that like Christmas, it doesn't matter if you're not able to put Christmas and Thanksgiving together. Like we were just talking about before we started. Like I'm having issues trying to get my holiday schedule going. You know what I mean? And basically what this guy's trying to say is like he's trying to develop a life where like these 2 days just don't matter anymore because you've seen each other so much.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, like what he was saying, I just was like thinking about my dysfunctional family. I was like, damn, this guy's onto something.
I will
This
say
guy's onto something right here.
I will say if I was at this point in time like you are, like a 40-year-old childless person, like I don't know why the fuck I would give a shit about Thanksgiving or Christmas anymore. Like I just wouldn't. I would just be like, yeah, I mean, I'll see you next year, I guess. You know, like we can hang out on the 28th. I don't give a shit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, this year, like, this year was like the worst one of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so many people were like so caring about the election. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just like it made for like people like not wanting to get together. And I was like, are you fucking like you guys don't want to hang out because you're Yankees and Red Sox fans essentially? Like,
Damn, was that like a thing in your house? Like
I feel like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we didn't like my mom's texting me saying she wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
She wasn't doing nothing for Thanksgiving. Come by for dessert if you want or something. And then I don't know. I think later on my Nana texted me and she's like, I miss the old Thanksgiving when
make
everybody
Thanksgiving great
went
again.
over Lenny's. Yeah. And it's like, well, you know what never happened that I can remember when we all came to my grandfather's house for Thanksgiving? Nobody talked about politics.
Yeah.
I don't ever remember politics coming up ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You mix talking politics with drinking and I don't know.
The bad recipe.
Yeah. And just I think everybody in my family is they're right. They're not gonna, you know what I mean? They're not gonna.
I mean, holidays at my house used to be fun endeavors because it would just be like everyone yelling at each other, and then like somebody would inevitably like storm out and fucking go. Like my grandfather was like, so I'm from kind of like a quasi mixed household. Like my stepfather's Mexican, and you know when my mom divorced my dad was like he worked with my grandfather, like you know he kind of brought him along as like a apprentice electrician kind of thing. So like they were like friendly. They had like a good relationship.
Who was the apprentice?
My father. My grandfather was like a master electrician.
All right.
My dad was just a fucking idiot who lucked himself into a job that he then fucked up. But at the time though, they had like still like a good relationship at the time that my mom divorced my dad. So and then my stepfather's a Mexican guy, you know, it's 1989 in, you know, the United States. Guess what? Old people didn't like Mexicans still, you know?
Yeah.
So there was that rift. And at one point in time, my stepfather said something, I can't remember what it was, but it was something directed towards my brother, kind of just being like an asshole, you know, like whatever. It was like a get your elbows off the fucking table kind of thing or whatever. And my grandfather like flipped the fuck out.
Don't talk to my boy like that.
He stood up and like in the middle of fucking dinner, threw his plate on the fucking ground, and was just like, "You listen here, you fucking blah blah blah," you know. And he was just like, "Fuck this, I'm going to Tom's house," and he just like stormed out the door. And this was like pre-cell phones, like. You just lost Grandpa for the day. I was like, where the fuck did Grandpa go? Like, you know, because like he didn't go to my dad's house. He claimed he did, but my dad was like later on, like I wasn't even home, so I don't know what the fuck he was doing. I think he just like sat in my father's fucking driveway for probably like 2 hours, pissed off.
Or he went to a bar.
I don't know. Yeah. Nobody knew what the fuck happened to Grandpa that day. But that was all of our holidays were basically just like dysfunctional messes where everyone just yelled at each other and somebody cried inevitably. Yeah.
That's right. So, like, at your grandfather's funeral, like, you look at your brother and you're like, remember that one time?
Fucking yeah. I mean, he was the only one that had our backs, you know? He's a good dude.
How did he have your back in that situation? Just from the family? Like, you don't talk about the...
Yeah, you don't fucking talk to my grandson that way.
Shut up, stepfather.
Yep, pretty much.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Good times, though.
I still picture him as like a Mexican cowboy. You know what I mean?
That's basically what he is. Yeah.
Yeah. With the fucking... like the fancy vest. Rodeo shirt and stuff. Yeah, like
I mean that's it's basically what he is.
He's I almost feel like I have like a Napoleon Dynamite-esque like caricature of this man.
Honestly, you're not far off.
And I'm like, I fucking like this guy. I'd like to learn how to ride a horse from this man.
Yeah, no, he's a funny dude. Early on, we had a very rocky relationship, but like over the years, he's like my dad now. So he's fucking awesome. Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I had a stepdad that like he was like a good father figure to me, but then he fucking fell off the rails. You know what I mean? I fucking have no idea.
That's Jamie's dad, right?
Jesse's dad.
Or Jesse. What the fuck did I say Jamie? Oh, I said Jamie because of the fucking. I was thinking of the Joe Rogan guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
but he was all like, I don't know, man. He had good like family values and stuff like that. If I ever like had disagreements with my mom and shit, he would fucking get fucking pissed at, you know, you don't talk to your fucking mom like that, you know, like he was a good dude. And then like his demons caught up with him. Like his brothers moved down and started working with him again, and then he just couldn't keep his sobriety together with like his dirtbag brothers.
Yeah,
so
shit happens.
Yeah, but what like. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like my holidays now, as you're saying, as like a 40-year-old dink, like
pretty uneventful, right?
Yeah, except in an election year. So every 4 years, we don't got to worry about it. But there's not going to be too many more elections coming, bro.
Do you think that's it?
Huh?
It's over now? Democracy is done?
No, I'm not saying that. I just think that I think that we're just going to get to witness the apocalypse.
Oh. I don't think we're lucky enough.
No, it's coming, dude.
I don't know.
It's coming. All of the conspiracies are coming together.
They're gonna form like Voltron.
It's happening. Yeah. I'm onto some new ish. I feel like I finally found the bottom of the rabbit hole of like the Anunnaki and Nibiru and all of this shit going on.
Gotcha. I'm sure that'll last a week until you're onto something else.
Nah, that's like the bottom of it. I feel like it's figured out. And now
you did it?
Huh?
You did it? I feel like confetti should fall from the fucking sky.
We got to work on that.
Yeah. Have like horns blasting, like, yay!
Like if we had a guest on and we're like, and here's our guest, and they didn't know.
Yeah.
And confetti just fell on it, that'd be great.
Fucking, like the Eric Andre. You ever watch the Eric Andre show?
He is great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like funny stuff that I remember him doing, but
I just remember like the guests like sitting on the couch and all of a sudden the couch will like start sinking into the fucking set and shit. Yeah.
No, like there's one like he has some girl on, like she's like a nice girl, like that's her whole character. And he's like pick one of these guys, and she's like, why? And he's like, just pick one, and she picks the guy, and somebody pulled out a gun and just fucking shoots him. Yeah, I was like, yo, this guy is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But he's had people on too where he like messes with them, and they just leave.
Oh yeah, they don't take it.
Yeah,
what was it? Fucking, I think T.I. was like a guest on his show, and he like was not having it,
bro. There is a clip of T.I. realizing that his grown child can't read. And it is hilarious.
Oh, okay.
For everybody that can't see my dog, he's trying to talk his way onto the podcast right now. I don't know what his problem is, but
we have another mic.
Yeah.
Set him up.
He can talk, dude. If you play the videos of like the Huskies all barking, he gets down.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were we just talking about though before that?
I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
Damn.
I don't think it matters.
You're talking about the planet Nibiru coming.
Oh, Oh, it's a whole planet now then?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's what the Sumerian tablets state. They state that there's like a rogue planet, and if you look at the science, there's something that can't be explained in the orbits of the outer planets.
I mean, it's the universe. There's a lot of things that can't be explained.
Yeah, but it's all
like 99% of the universe is like dark matter. You know, we don't even know what the fuck it is.
That's only a theory, though. But this is just,
there you go. Yeah.
This is just like that. Like, you can tell that there's like the force of gravity is something
like a gravity well or something
with a lot of gravity is out there, and it's affecting the orbits of Neptune and Uranus.
Oh, okay.
And it can't be explained mathematically except for that there is
something there.
Well, this also ties into something there and the fact that our solar system is an oddity in a lot of ways, but most stars in the universe are somehow in a binary star system.
Okay.
Like there's two stars. They don't have to be like wrapped around each other like a lot of times you'll see in like science fiction and stuff. Like there can be a great distance between them, but they're still locked in this dance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for our solar system to have like such a nice Goldilocks zone with Earth and only one sun, like there's just a lot of things that it's like, I don't know. And a lot of galaxies have black holes in the center of them or dormant, they're not dormant. They're like stars that have exploded. They've lost their light. And now they're just like these super compact, like gravity fucking holes.
Yeah.
And that all of that is like, we haven't discovered any of that in our solar system. So if the math makes that shit all work and there's these fucking tablets from 7,000 years ago that talk about this thing going on, I'm fucking down with it. And basically what this thing says is that like every 3,600 years or something like that, this planet comes in from this crazy orbit that it's coming around, and it affects Earth so much that because the continents are like granite sitting on top of magma, like the
shifts the continents.
The gravitational pull is so much that it like lifts the Earth keeps spinning and the continents like come back down. And there's examples of magnetic shift in the fossil record throughout the history of the planet.
Like a shifting of the poles and
shit. It hasn't just happened one time. Yeah. So it's like, you know, if you're going to go look at, you know, there's a lot of speculation about like pyramids in Antarctica and stuff like that. And it's like, well, how the hell did they build this in this ice? And it's like, well, that shit wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like this crazy thing happened where like the planet was dramatically altered in such a way that like 99% of everything is fucking 86th.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When it comes to this kind of shit, like, what is the end goal of you learning it all? Like, so that way the day it happens, you can kind of just be like, I told you also, and then immediately die in a fiery inferno?
I don't know.
Like, what good does it do you?
I mean, it doesn't do me any good, I guess.
All I'm saying is this. Are you doing this from like a place of just edification where it's like it's a subject that interests you? Or like you like worried about this shit happening?
Let me look at the camera while Brennan thinks that I know what the word edification means.
Well,
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
I'm just saying, are you trying, is it just a subject that interests you and you're like, oh,
I'm
that's cool? Or like, are you like worried about this shit? Like, does this consume your thoughts?
No, because I don't think that there's any, I don't think there's anything you can do to survive it.
No, there isn't. That's what I'm saying. So, like, if what you're saying is true, it's kind of like, if you want to learn about this shit because you find it's a fascinating subject, great. I just don't want you to be, like, doom scrolling and, like, being like, oh, we're all going to fucking die. Nah. It's like, well, of course we're all going to die.
I think that's what happens to Renee when I turn her onto a new thing. And I'm like, yo, like, yeah, you can know about it, but who cares? Like, but at the same time, like, are you aware that you're on a ball spinning around a fucking globe of nuclear fucking fire?
Yeah.
And one day that sun's gonna enlarge and fucking envelop everything.
Swallow us all.
Yeah. Like, are you aware of that?
Yeah. I mean, I do.
Like,
that.
are you rolling? You know that, right? Every day you reject the flat Earth theory and shit, and you're like, where?
Oh, are you talking to me now? Oh yeah, I know that.
You know, yeah, but you know that, but you don't walk around every day
heavy with that knowledge.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's the same thing. Like,
right. I want to make sure for your own mental health that you're not sitting in a basement being like, I need to buy concrete. You know, it's like, relax, dude. If it happens that way, like, you can call me and you can be like, I fucking told you, and then I'll be like, well, this is it for us. So good luck to you, pal. You know, like, you know. Good luck surfing the fucking walls of magma that are about to fucking like descend upon
die in like a 600-foot tidal wave.
Yeah, that too. I'm just saying.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And if you get into the works of Randall Carlson, who's like a fucking like an internet geologist that goes to these sites and shows you how, you know, there's these great washaways and stuff like this and people would never give give this geological evidence credit because they're like, you would need a tidal wave like 600 feet tall to make this happen. And he's like, yeah, that's what I'm fucking saying. And here's the physical fucking evidence for this. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, you could point to history at any point in time and like find a bunch of scientists who said, well, that's impossible. And then like 70 years later, you're like, I guess it wasn't, you know? Like we were straight up like, we were performing surgery on people 130 years ago and wondering why they were all dying of infections. And it was just like,
we were giving people heroin to cure ghosts in their blood.
That too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, but it's just like people 120 years ago literally denied the fact that there were even such thing as bacteria and shit like that. Like it was like, there isn't an invisible world that has a bunch of microorganisms in it, you fucking idiots. And then like 40 years later, everyone was like, yeah, there is.
You know that guy's...
and wash your fucking hands, you know?
Do you know that guy's name?
Who, the guy like found it?
He came up with like the concept of the cell.
Oh, you know, I don't know his name.
It will come to one of us. I guarantee you, one of our trivia-laden minds will.
Well, I was just thinking of, do you know the story about the President Garfield? Well, first of all, do you know how many presidents we've had that have gotten assassinated? Like, technically speaking, it's Lincoln, it's fucking Kennedy, and then it's also this guy, Garfield. But he's like the one that everyone forgets about.
I know. But I don't know the story behind it. But.
So he gets shot, and he gets shot in like the back or something like that by some fucking nutcase. It was like one of the first cases of like a like a fame killing, because it was just like that turned like the newspapers were big and shit. It was like the Industrial Revolution. This guy was kind of like a weird like nutcase who was like a socialite kind of dude, and he thought that like by killing the president he would like somehow like bring the country together. He was basically like the first like profiled nutcase like killer of a major public figure.
This is before Lincoln?
Yeah, well, no, this is after Lincoln. But even Wilkes Booth, he did it because he was fucking killing the guy who freed the slaves and won for the North. Like, this was the first one where his motivations were strictly like, I'm going to kill the president so that way I can get famous for killing the president.
Let's backtrack to John Wilkes Booth, though.
Yeah.
You're basically saying he took Lincoln out like for the boys.
Yeah, for the boys. Did he not?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, he was a.
This is all stuff in books, bro. This is fucking your area.
All right, well I don't know. I thought you were gonna refute that. No, he was a Confederate soldier. So yeah, like that's what he did. But anyway, so fucking Garfield gets shot in the back by this dude, and the bullet doesn't kill him. Like it's a wound at this point. He's getting treated for it at the White House or whatever. And, like, the conditions are terrible. This is, like, before, obviously, the days of, like, it was the middle of summer. It's fucking, you used to bring, like, blocks of ice indoors to, like, cool the air. Like, in the White House is a fucking shithole that's built upon a swamp. It's, like, the worst conditions ever. And the guy who's, like, seeing to Garfield is a dude who was, like, because at this point in time, it is a theory that, like, there are bacteria. There's a guy who's, like, practicing medicine in, I don't know, New York, who's, like, trumpeting like, hey, wash your hands, wash your equipment, make sure everything's sterilized. There's these little microbes that like, will get into wounds and kill people from infections. That's why, back then it was just like people are like, open up the windows because it's the bad air inside that's doing it. It's like, well, that's not the case, but all right,
You're not praying enough.
So this, like, in modern times, I mean, obviously in modern times he would have survived, but like even in like 20 years later, Garfield would have survived the injury. But what happened was this fucking renegade asshole doctor was just like refuting all science and just being like, I cut you open, I'll get that fucking bullet out, buddy. I'll get you stitched up in no time, and not washing his hand
like
and shit.
Dirt and duct tape.
Exactly, yeah. But dude ended up dying of an infection, like a fucking blood infection. And that's what it ultimately killed the president, though, was that like just that absolute refusal of like admitting like, oh shit, you know what? Like maybe wiping my ass and then like performing surgery is probably bad for this person.
I don't know what I could just think of like Trump talking shit about that. Like,
yeah,
this guy fucking died. He died from
what a
loser.
What a loser.
He died from little staphylococcus.
Now there's a book called Destiny of the Republic, though. It was all about that shit, and it was a fucking awesome book. It's one of my favorite nonfiction books ever because it just like shed light on like that aspect of it. It was like the fucking Garfield like seemed like he was going to be like kind of like a for the people sort of president. Like he was beloved by people, and dude just got like killed like 1 year into his fucking presidency.
Oh, I gotta look into what his policies were.
He was like a fucking blue collar Ohio guy. He was.
That's why he got killed.
Yeah, probably.
Like I don't know what the timeline is.
What do you mean? So this was like 1880 something.
When did the Titanic happen?
Like probably 20 years later, like 1907, I think. Yeah. So.
Titanic's got some sketchy shit going on.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you know about that?
Yeah, like
Hold on. First off, I want to talk about some more history, United States history. One thing I do remember vaguely about was I had a history teacher, and he was like, "Let me just lay this on you guys." Right?
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't remember the names of the individuals, but he's like, he didn't say that. I don't remember who he's talking about.
Yeah.
But he told us, he goes, just remember there was a time where the president won the election and then they made a side deal and they're like, nah. Like this other guy's going to win. And it had something to do with slavery. Maybe it was like how the 3/5 compromise came into effect or something, or maybe it's why they instituted the, what's the shit where all the states get a certain amount of
electoral votes and shit? Yeah.
Like it had something to do with that. But the president was, however they determined it back then, this guy won and they're like, nah, he can't win. We got to make like some other kind of deal. And whatever they worked out, they're like, all right, you can have that go down. You don't know who I'm talking about?
I don't, but I'm not saying it's impossible. If I had to guess, that's some shit that Andrew Jackson would have pulled, though. If you look into
I
his
remember
history.
Andrew Jackson, bro.
Yeah, but like you don't think he could? Well, I'm just whatever. I'm speculating out, but I'm just saying like presidents back then used to be huge pieces of shit. So I don't doubt
I think
it.
they still are, bro. What do you mean?
That's true. I guess I shouldn't have added that fucking caveat.
They're like fucking robots made by the reptilian overlords at this point.
Yeah, Manchurian Candidates.
I don't know what that word means either.
Manchurian Candidate was a movie in like the 1950s. And I think it got remade in like the 90s, but it's basically about a guy who he like gets brainwashed by like I think it was the Russians or maybe it was the Chinese or something, and then gets sent back to the United States to run for president. So,
sounds like it probably happened.
Yeah,
Hollywood just turns real life into movies.
There you go. Well, I mean, if that were true, there'd be a lot more movies about pedophiles.
There totally are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that Kevin Spacey movie about pedophiles? He like fucks that young blonde chick.
Yeah, the American
petals?
Beauty. That movie has not aged well. I remember when that movie came out, I was like, this movie's awesome. And like as a grown man, I'm like, this movie is problematic.
I feel like there's a lot of shit that hasn't aged well, bro. I feel like when we first started doing this, like I was like, yo, imagine if you were like a Judas Priest fan back in the day.
Yeah.
And like all of a sudden this dude came out as like, I'm a giant homo.
Yeah.
And you've been dressing like this dude. You know what I mean? You've been like defining your whole personality was Judas Priest, and now this dude's fucking gay.
To be fair, if you're dressing head to toe in leather like chaps, like you should be. Be questioning your own fucking decisions.
I would have got by
think
this.
so?
I definitely would have got wrapped up at that back in the day. I would have been like, no, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then it all would have been crashing down.
I was gonna say, I picture you like looking in the bathroom mirror, like with your whole leather outfit on, just like staring at yourself, coming to the realization, like. Yeah, this does seem kind of gay, doesn't it?
Yeah. Combing my non-existent chest hair.
Exactly.
But I think that whole situation, though, is like coming true with all these rappers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even me, like, when I first got into rap, dude, like, I probably only listened to rap for like 3 years. Like, I was like, holy shit, I've been missing out on this. And I went down like the Biggie, Puff Daddy, DMX, like I'm not putting DMX on this list, but Jay-Z, all these fucking guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now like the word out on the street is they're all just fucking butt-fucking each other.
Yeah.
Like, and just pretending to be gangster rappers in the name of Satan.
Well, I think that was
like overthrow.
That was always the problem with Jay-Z, I think, was like that was the Jay-Z Nas beef. It was like Nas is an actual gangster who is a rapper, and Jay-Z was always kind of like the guy where it's like, he's talking about slinging crack rock in the project halls, and it's like nobody ever saw you there.
There's a lot of people co-signing for Jay-Z on that, though, dude.
Really?
Yeah, but about Jay having like mad money in the hood before he became like a rapper.
I don't know. I think that was the genesis of the Nas Jay-Z beef. Was that Nas was kind of just like, I don't remember you ever being in the fucking project halls. So.
Yeah, I don't know what their problem was, but somebody tells a story. I think Snoop Dogg. I've heard him tell a story about a time where like Tupac was like mouthing off to Nas.
Yeah.
And
Snoop was just like, he let you fucking slide.
Yeah. Like, what are you, a fucking idiot?
Yeah.
So it's like, there's people that back both of them as being like,
yeah.
But I don't know, man. The whole thing, like Jay-Z, like, how old was Jay-Z when he started dating Beyonce?
I don't know, it was probably like 30, if I had to guess.
Dating a fucking what?
She was probably like 20 something.
Still, bro, like that's.
I mean, that's not insane,
It's not insane, but it's like a kind of like a.
Yeah, like what are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah, like
it's close. It's close.
It's close. You're getting close.
Yeah.
You're getting close.
Yeah.
Like if I don't know. I don't want to say it theoreticals like that because it's I don't know. One of our boys that's our age fucking shows up with like a 21-year-old chick. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to start being like, I don't know if I really want this motherfucker around my family.
So I have a cousin who kind of does that. Like he's a forever bachelor, but he's like maybe a year younger than me. So he's like he's 40, and all he does is just he dates like 21-year-old Asian girls. That's it. Just saying, it's a thing. I don't agree with it, but it's a thing,
I mean, to each their own.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if you're doing that, and then you get a bunch of fucking, you're on the list of butt fucking rappers. It's just like, oh.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's one of those things where, like, one thing can be true and you're not a creep, but then if multiple things become true, it's like, it sounds like you're a fucking creep, dude.
Like, I feel like you can't be, like, in Hollywood and not be a creep.
No, well, yeah, I mean,
like,
that's
even
probably true.
You hear all this shit about the pizza.
The pizza?
Like, the celebrities, they talk about pizza. Like, oh, we have all these pizza parties. Like, you see it on Ellen, and it breaks my heart to bring this up. Adam Sandler talks about it. It's my fucking guy.
Yeah.
And Jennifer Aniston, like, they talk about going to each other's pizza parties all the time. And it's like, it comes from the Ellen Show. And if you're privy, if you've read a lot of, like one thing I fucking love watching is fucking bros that, like, trap pedos. And they get them to, like...
beat the shit out of them, right?
They, like, slap them in the face, like, in the middle of a Walmart, and they just fucking stand there.
It's like Chris Hansen fucking times 1,000.
Like a renegade.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. I love that shit.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. Fuck, why was I... so if you watch a lot of that shit, it's like you kind of, like, get down with the lingo, right? And the lingo... CP... I don't even want to say because it's going to get us taken down, but it stands for...
I know what yeah.
Yeah, so cheese pizza, CP, like, all of this is, like, lingo... for, like, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So now there's all this shit with, everybody's exposing Hollywood now of all these motherfuckers talking about pizza. And it's like, what? And LeBron is fucking, he's even got a tweet like, yo, where's the pizza parties at in wherever he's in Breckenridge, wherever the fuck he was at in the offseason. Like, I haven't been to a pizza party in a long time. Like, what is all this? Who the fuck's talking about this shit? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Does LeBron need to really post that on Twitter, though, if that's what he's looking for?
Have you seen the thing about LeBron in that maid outfit?
No.
You never seen that?
No.
Just look it up on your phone. Just Google LeBron maid outfit. Like, and it's like, yo, is this picture real? Like, is this part of this humiliation ritual that he got, like, that he had to do? Like, why the fuck is he dressed up like that?
Yeah.
Like, he has never publicly addressed it. You know what I mean? Like, and LeBron constantly goes on these, like, sabbaticals from social media, so people can't be, like, tagging him and sharing stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, he's just straight up in a maid's outfit, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, if you're like the fucking and also I put this on Snopes or Snipes, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
And it says that the image shows numerous examples of being edited, but it has never been like disproven. Like, they've never found, like, that the head that the image came from, or like the body that,
right.
You know what I mean?
Like the original picture?
Yeah, nobody's found the two images merged together. Like, they found the Kamala Harris McDonald's photo.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Like,
where she tried to pretend that she worked at McDonald's.
But they found
the original picture.
Yes.
Yeah, of some, like, Indian girl. Yeah.
I don't think she's Indian
or whatever she was. Yeah.
It's like somebody. It's somebody who's, like, famous enough, like the Roosevelts or something like that. Like, it's on their tribute website or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw something digging it up.
Just lazy.
I don't know, man. It's all comes back to all the conspiracy being a psyop, bro.
Yeah.
It's all a psyop. Like, the Hollywood is just like an extension of like the CIA or some shit. They're just trying to keep the monkeys from revolting. Because if you let the monkeys know that the fucking rogue planet's coming to rip all the continents up off the magma, nobody's gonna
go to work the next day.
Nobody's gonna work the Amazon trucks.
Yeah. Well, I just want to speak on behalf of Touching Tips. Any CIA operatives that are watching out there, I'm happy to just entertain people for money if you guys want to give me some of it. So.
I will literally kill Ryan for you. Just don't disrupt my family.
I was going to say, yeah. I'll do that shit on camera, too.
I will get another co-host.
We'll get some Faces of Death shit going.
Oh, my God.
You remember that shit? Have we talked about Faces of Death?
I've never...
You've ever seen a video?
I have, but only once, like, Napster and YouTube.
Yeah.
Or not YouTube.
So you don't remember the days of, like, having to, like, have your buddy's cousin, like, come over with, like, the VHS tape?
Never in possession of the actual tape.
Yeah.
Like, actually, what got me into knowing about this was the Slipknot website from back in the day.
Oh,
They
really?
would always have these creepy, like, like death scenes, and
Yeah.
it would be in, like, those little, like, it's a square, but you have to move the tiles around to make, like, the puzzle.
Yeah.
Like, that's what that thing would be. So, like, maybe, like, whoever was monitoring the site wouldn't be a dead guy.
Yeah.
But if you assembled the puzzle, you'd be like, oh, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
no way, dude. Like, and I know I've seen one. It's like this guy's at, like, it's like an event that he's handing something out. He's, like, giving people envelopes.
Yeah.
And, like, he's like, this is for you, and this is for you. And then all of a sudden he takes his fucking gun out and just blows his fucking dome off.
Shit.
Like, and all this, I just remember, like, I remember it as vividly as that video where somebody tricked me into, it zooms in to where you're at, and it's fucking zoomed in butt fucking. Like, I can still see that. Just as much I can still see, like, you would think that everything would go out of the top of this guy's head.
No, it goes off the
but
bottom.
It just fucking raining blood down like a fall. I was like, holy shit.
So the one that sticks out in my mind is, and I saw this like on the VHS fucking, like my buddy.
You had the tape, bro. Your childhood was so much better than mine.
Well, my buddy.
You had the flag.
Yeah.
You had physical copies of Faces of Death.
Yeah.
Man.
My buddy he's kind of a weird kid. I mean, he's like one of my
with the Faces of Death.
Well, so it wasn't him with the Faces of Death. It was actually his uncle, who was kind of close to us, not like close to us in age, but like close enough. Like, I think at that time, like, we were probably, I don't know, it was probably like 13 or 14, maybe 15. I can't remember, somewhere in that ballpark. And he was, like 23 or 24 or something. But he had the video, and we fucking watched it in his trailer, this is a wild story.
Every time this podcast, bro, I find a piece of Brennan I never knew before. I can't wait.
Yeah, so we watched it in this dude's trailer.
Close my eyes and listen.
And fucking the one that stuck out to me that I'll remember to this day, it was like one of those, like, squiggly letter Arabic countries or whatever, and it was a public execution. Just these three dudes lined up, their hands tied behind their back, they're fucking, knelt on the ground, and a dude with like a fucking, I don't know what the fuck it is, like a scimitar or some shit, like
the shit from Aladdin.
Yeah, like a curved fucking like machete, and he just like goes down the line, just next one takes 2 hits. Head fucking off. Third one, 2 fucking hits, and like they're just like cut the fucking half their head off, and literally it's just like blood everywhere, and the dude like flops over just dead, and you're just like, and he's like still like wriggling a little bit as like this fucking brain like gets detached from his fucking body. It's fucked up. Yeah, it's like one of those things where at the time you're like, oh shit, this is fucking crazy. And now here I am like 27 years later, like I still remember that shit. Yeah, exactly.
Like, I can still see the blood coming out of that guy's head, like, in whatever is functioning in my brain right now as I talk.
Yeah.
It's on repeat.
Now, though, there's like a lot of fucking videos that I catch on like TikTok or whatever, or like anything, where I'm just kind of like, that's like Faces of Death adjacent. Like, I definitely just saw a dude die in this. Like, fucking guys getting hit by cars and shit. And like,
what about, did you ever get into Live Leak?
No, it's Live Leak.
It got shut down now, but this used to be the thing that it was like YouTube, but like gore.
Okay.
Like, it would have all kinds of like like I saw this one thing.
When was this up? Like, was this a while ago? Or?
I probably remember Live Leak as far back as first or Celtics championship.
Here we go again.
Yeah, like,
measuring it based on Boston sports.
08 Celtics to like the second time the Patriots lost to the Giants in the Super. So like 08 to 11 or something like that. I feel like is when I got turned on to this. But maybe it could have even been earlier, because I might remember watching this on my mom's home computer in Attleboro when I first came home, and that was for like the first Patriots like undefeated run.
Okay.
So maybe as far back as 07.
Yeah.
And then it got taken. I don't know when it got taken down, but maybe like the last 5 to 10 years. But it was up for a while.
Yeah.
So there's like 3 videos that I distinctly remember. One of them is this fucking bus crash.
Yeah.
And it's somebody just walking the fucking, and it's just mangled. Like, you see so many fucking dead. You see people's intestines fucking hanging out. You see people dig, like.
So it's a dude just walking around the bus crash.
They came across the bus rollover or whatever it is, and they're just like videotaping the fucking
carnage.
Yeah, and it's probably like 100-foot walk of just fucking death, dude. You know what I mean? Like every like you'll like I don't know, like the emotions that you feel watching this. You know what I mean? It's like powerful. You're like, holy fuck, dude. Like that is death. Like holy fuck.
Yeah.
And then there's another one that I remember, which is even more fucking brutal. And I researched like what the video was, and it's basically the guy that's getting killed is a fucking badass motherfucker. He's like an assassin, and the people that are killing him are the rival. This is in like South America,
like so a rival syndicate kind of thing.
Whatever you call these
cartel.
gangs. So this guy's killed like hundreds of their people, right?
Yeah.
And they finally catch him, and it's like 3 guys, and they're holding him down, and they got a knife, and they fucking cut one of his fucking feet off, and they just make him stand there and take it. They cut his other fucking foot off. Then they ride up. They cut his fucking dick and balls off.
Yeah.
They cut his fucking hands off, and then they fucking hack his fucking head off. This is like a smaller knife / machete. You know what I mean? But like the brutality involved of them, like just like I'm like trying to hold my shit down. I'm glad I'm not drinking everything I normally drink.
Fuck.
But it stayed with me for a long time. I mean, it stayed with me forever. I can't get rid of it. And then another one, there's like this guy, brutal fucking motorcycle crash. You see him fucking tumbling and stuff, and he goes to try to like lift this fucking leg up or get up or like signal somebody where he is, and he lifts his leg up, and his leg just fucking falls off, and it's like, holy fuck. And that just made me think of the dude that broke his leg in the NCAA shit, and everybody saw that on live TV too.
Oh, which kid?
It's like a kid from maybe St. John's. So he was like compound fracture in his leg.
Shit.
And everybody fucking saw that shit on like live TV. I think that happened to Paul George in the Olympics too. Everybody saw him.
It's happened if you got Joe Theismann with
but
LT.
that's old. Like
I'm just saying
this shit happened in like
recently.
HD.
Yeah.
Like brutal. Yeah. So I mean, if anybody's ever wondered why I'm fucked up, it's because I probably got exposed to all that stuff as
way
a
too
young
early.
man.
Yeah. I mean, now that's what I'm saying though. Is like now I feel like the kids can get that shit anywhere.
Yo, so this is a crazy hospitality story, right? I used to work with this lady. She was like a good regular of mine beforehand. She wanted to learn how to bartend. This is when we came back, I believe, from quarantine or right before we shut down, one of the two. But she's like learning how to bartend. She doesn't know shit about bartending. Like, there's no way that she should have been out there.
Back
like,
there.
She should have just been like an order taker and then tell all the drinks to me, which is pretty much what she did. And it would have taken somebody like me or you to be able to handle it to make it work, which we did make it work, blah, blah, blah. But she's got 2 boys. They're probably, one of them's maybe 10 to 12 years old at this point, and the other one's younger than that. And she caught like the older one exposing the younger one to all kinds of like crazy porno videos and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then she's like, I did some reading on this, and that made me look it up. And it's like, there's like a whole generation of kids that have grown up watching crazy fucking shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can't come from like normal stuff. Like you have sex with your high school girlfriend for the first time, and you're like, you get, like, it's not enough because
like,
you've been.
What do you mean? You're not gonna lick my asshole while you fucking jerk me
or like
jerk
whatever,
my dick off?
dude? I'm talking about way more like extreme shit.
Yeah.
Like
I'm just saying when you're 15 fucking years old, that should be what you're thinking of, you know?
And yeah. You should be like coming like in the condom first because you're so excited. You know what I mean? Like
you shouldn't be like put three fingers in my butthole and call me a fag. You know?
Yeah. It's not even that. It's just all this fucking weird shit or like derogatory stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to. I keep bringing up stuff that's gonna get the fucking shit taken down. You know what I mean? But
I was gonna say I'm gonna have to clip that off. I'm not gonna be able to say fag on the show. I don't think.
Come on. We're just talking about burning sticks.
That's true.
Cigarettes.
Yeah.
Oh man, I smelled some cigarettes at the airport today, and I was like, nice. Yeah, like it was fucking harsh. I was like, damn, bro, if somebody took more than a couple drags and flushed it, like they waited to get caught.
Oh, so it was like in the bathroom? Like
no, like I could smell it like in the fucking.
Oh, coming out of the bathroom?
Yeah, so I mean, either that or maybe there is an elevator that goes down to like the ground level if you have the right pass to get out there, but it's rare. Like not everybody has the ability to do that. So I guess it could have been like it could have traveled up the elevator. Somebody wasn't far enough from the door or something.
Probably not. Somebody was probably just
I didn't know
in the airport.
Fucking smoking in the bathroom. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Like that's such a bold move.
Yeah. I mean, you should just be able to smoke at airports. What the fuck's the difference? Give these people some place to do it.
Dude, especially at where I work, it's like normally getting through security is such a breeze.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why would you just not go outside?
Yeah.
Like, if you have
some airports though aren't like fucking go to like O'Hare or something like like international airports. Like, dude, it's a fucking pain in the ass to like walk all the way the fuck outside and then walk all the way fucking back in and fucking go through security and all that shit again. You know,
I'm giving him credit for like a bigger airport,
Yeah.
but for here, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a fucking 25-minute fiasco.
Yeah.
From leaving the bar to going outside to coming back through security and smoking the cigarette.
Yeah.
25 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, especially if you got the TSA pre-check.
Yeah.
So I just don't know why you would risk.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
why the guy would risk doing it for only that.
You know
small,
why I know exactly how to do it, because Ryan that used to drink and would get blackout drunk before he got on the plane would have to risk it.
Yeah. That's
have
true.
to risk it.
Yeah.
You know? And it's wild. It's wild. Like, how do you not, like, you definitely get on that plane smelling like you just had a cigarette.
Yeah.
You know, like, everybody
Yeah.
can smell that.
It's like, excuse me, sir, did you smoke in our bathroom? It's like, no. It's like,
Well, we
reeked, dude.
followed the trail
Yeah.
with our nose, and we didn't have to be a dog.
Yeah. We're
to
not,
make it
we're not
happen.
fucking Sherlock Holmes here, pal. Yeah.
Dude, there was one time, I feel like I talked about this before, but maybe not, but I caught like a 12-hour delay in an airport, and I had like an ounce of mushrooms sewn into the taint of my boxers.
Nice.
And they're doing like a dog sniffing training at that airport the whole time, and I was just
Jesus Christ.
shitting bricks the whole time. But it's like, I doubt a dog's fucking trained to sniff out mushrooms.
Yeah, probably not. Well, probably not at that time.
And those
Yeah.
dogs are definitely looking for bombs and not drugs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, actually, they did have, so they brought the dog in to we're in the smoking lounge, right? Because I'm like you, I got to stay in the smoking lounge the whole time. To
Yeah.
cover the mushroom smell with fucking cigarettes.
Yeah.
So then, now they bring the dog in the fucking smoking room, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm so screwed. This is totally for me. This is for me all day.
Yeah.
And the dog goes after this guy. The guy has a bag on him. They go fucking mad weed, like in,
shit.
like a pound of weed, like in this guy's bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they get that.
So you witnessed like a legit drug bust at the airport?
No, like it was a training seminar. You know what I mean? So the
okay.
guy had
All right.
like butt on him for the dog to find.
Gotcha. All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and he was like, oh shit. So what? Imagine me fucking freaking out.
Watching some like plant get like fucking searched, and you're like, oh my god, it's happening.
I'm next. Like, there's no way that I'm not next.
Yeah, but like you said, I bet you those dogs are fucking trained to do like weed, heroin, coke. They probably can't smell fucking mushrooms.
I'm just saying, I don't think.
What the fuck? You know, how are you going to train them to smell those particular kinds of mushrooms? What happens if some motherfucker eats like chicken marsala before he fucking gets on the plane? And all of a sudden, the dog's fucking tearing out his throat.
Yeah.
Like, I
I just don't think nobody's smuggling mushrooms at such a rate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, they're like,
yeah, it's just not a problem. That's mushrooms are grown locally, I'm sure, and consumed locally.
Have you ever watched like a hash documentary?
No, I've never had hash, and I don't even know how the fuck it's made.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool on all ends. I
Yeah.
won't bore everybody. I know all the information, but there's like a documentary of these dudes. They fly back and forth from like wherever fucking hash is made in like Morocco. So they go from like Morocco to London. It's like a quick flight, and they basically like make like a what are those fucking like those spandex suits back in the day? People were wearing like hockey games and like mess with the guy in the penalty box.
Oh, like the Green Man suit?
Yeah,
kinda?
yeah. So basically, they put that on, right?
Yeah.
And it has all these pockets in it, and they just tuck fucking all these fucking hash, like vacuum sealed little like hash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, it doesn't make you look puffy or anything like that, and they just fucking get on a plane, for like 5 hours, fucking land, and their
Yeah.
whole body is like fucking
Yeah.
hash. It's awesome. Like if you have a history in the streets, like watching them pull that off in the documentary, you're like, that's
Damn.
fucking awesome. Those dudes got fucking balls.
Well, for every one of
I
those,
remember how scared.
Where was he flying out of? Like, were they like
London and Morocco.
Okay,
Like
but so they didn't get it from like Afghanistan and then bring it back or whatever. So it was like, either way though, you fucking.
No, I mean, Morocco is like the hash capital of the world. I
is it?
believe. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Morocco's got like a lot. Some people, there's a lot of conspiracies that Morocco really runs the world.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have information on it. I haven't. See, now I got a new rabbit hole to go down.
I've only met
word.
one Moroccan and I didn't like him.
Soon enough, when you get in, we had got a Moroccan that cooks 2 days a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the best. He participates in the my man.
Okay.
If you don't say it to him first, he gets you.
Well, fucking,
I love it. I love a good my man.
Fucking smuggling shit though on planes is a dangerous business when it comes to like that kind of shit though. You ever see the movie Midnight Express?
What do you think?
No, but it's about a dude who's trying to smuggle heroin out of Turkey or whatever, and he ends up like in a Turkish prison for like fucking 16 years. It's a rough watch, but yeah, it's like I don't know, it's not worth it.
What about there's like some show where like these teenagers get wrapped up and then they get stuck in like drug prison in like Singapore or some shit. You never seen that movie?
Well, I mean, I can think of one actually that has Vince Vaughn in it. I think I've talked about this movie now that I think about it, or maybe I talked to somebody else about it recently. Have you not seen this? It's like Return to Paradise or something. But it's basically like
vaguely, I think I remember us talking about it.
Yeah. Well, there's a movie about like a dude who they go on vacation, him and his like three buddies, or like they meet on vacation, like these three guys, and they party with each other. They have fun for like the fucking 2 weeks they're there. And then they all kind of go their separate ways. One of them, though, decides that he's going to stay. I think it was like the Philippines or Malaysia. It's one of those fucking countries. Indonesia, maybe. But he's going to stay and he's going to do like whatever fucking missionary work or like, charity work kind of thing. Like helping the fucking infrastructure of the country. So he stays. But while they're there, they bought like a bunch of like fucking pot and fucking hash and they were doing drugs and shit. And it was like, they thought it was like totally fine. The two guys leave, and the guy who stays gets busted with all of the drugs that they bought over the course of the vacation or whatever. And it's all about like 10 years later, right? Everybody's like living their own lives. They get met up with a lawyer who's just like, your buddy was arrested 10 years ago for this charge that you guys all like kind of were in on, and he's been down there the whole time in this prison, and if you don't come back, they're going to execute him. So it's like they all have to decide whether or not like they split the life sentence. So like each one of them will get like 8 years in prison, or like they're just going to abandon their buddy and he's going to die down there. So it's actually a fucking good movie. I think
is it their buddy or is it just three losers that meet on vacation?
I can't remember. I think it was like their buddy, but I think they
drastic difference.
I think two of them were buddies. The two that were gone or that left were buddies, and then they met this guy down there on vacation who like became their buddy or whatever. Yeah. So, but like, yeah, they had to decide whether or not they were going to come back for this guy.
I'm not going back for him.
Well, anyway, it's a fucking good movie.
If it was like me and you that went on vacation and then you stayed and did the charity work, I would feel compelled.
It's been a while since I've seen the movie. They might have all been friends, but I doubt it because I feel like then, like, how would you explain Fred being missing for 10 years? I think it was like they met each other down there, I think. But it's a fucking good movie.
That brings me back to this guy, the first guy I ever had to cut off at the airport.
Yeah.
And it happened to me last week, I think after our meeting. But he was going to California to see this guy that he met on a cruise get inducted into like an Elks Club or some shit or a Moose Lodge.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
What?
Yeah.
What? And so he shows up and he's like, I don't know, man. I feel like I give people the benefit of the doubt too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he shows up, I'm like, this guy's fucking wacky. But who's hammered at 5 a.m.?
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, who's fucked up at this time? Like, he's just goofy. You know what I mean? So I give this guy his drink, gets a double captain in fucking whatever, Diet Coke or some shit. And then he starts telling me, oh, man, I haven't been to bed since last night or since yesterday. I stayed up all night partying. And he's like, he's like a 50, 55-year-old guy. He's like, I retired early. He's like, then he tells me this whole shit, right? So I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. This guy's fucking out of here. There's nobody else at the bar. So now I'm like stuck with this guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, and then he tells me, he's like, I missed my flight. He's like, I got here on time. He's like, but I sat down in the chair and I just went to bed. He's like, nobody woke me up.
It's 5 a.m. How the fuck is he missed his flight already?
Yeah, because he had like he had a flight before the bar opened.
God,
you know what I mean? So he got there hammered, fell asleep in the chair in front of the gate.
Yeah,
never boarded the plane. You know what I mean? Nobody nudged him or whatever. I don't know why you wouldn't nudge the guy who's fucking sitting. You know what I mean? Like as the boarding or the gate agent, you wouldn't be like, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Are you on this flight? Like.
I
don't
mean,
know. Maybe it was mouthing off to him because he started mouthing off to me.
Oh, really?
Who knows? He's like, oh, I can be a real smart ass. I can be a real smart ass, buddy. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, and then, he's like the coolest guy in the world. You know,
Right.
He's got a Marine hoodie on. So I think I'm like, all right, this guy served his country. I got a soft spot for that. Give him the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? You want to be an asshole later in your life after whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. So I give him one more drink, which I shouldn't have. And then he fucking, then he leaves and he goes, then I don't see him again. You know what I mean? So I'm like, great. He's fucking
Perfect.
going
He's
off
gone.
to deal with him again. Like an hour and a half goes by, comes back. He's like, I took a nap. I'm feeling great. Da, 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 da. And at this point, I should have been like, you know what, man, I served you enough. You talked about being wasted when you got here. Like, I had all the leverage in the world just to be like, no. You know what I mean? But my dumb ass, I give him another drink. You know what I mean? So then it starts getting busy, So now the Wilkie that we all know and love is on display.
Yeah.
And he starts, you're the man, dude. You're the man. You know what I mean? And he's like, come here. He starts fucking trying to pat me on my back. And then he turns around and he fucking
knocks over all the drinks.
One drink. He elbows his drink like fucking into like the concourse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It breaks. Now there's fucking glass and ice and shit everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So I pick it up. He's like insistent upon cleaning it up. I'm too busy to really be like, sir, I got it. You know what I mean? So I let him clean his mess up as best he can. Then I come back around with the butler, and I'm like, this fucking idiot didn't pick up shit. So I'm like picking up the glass. And he's like, oh, this is what we're doing. We're picking everything up. And I'm like, yeah, motherfucker. Like, you just sent you broke a glass like over 30 feet. Like,
I can't have a fucking like passing 7-year-old fucking pick up a shard of glass and shove it in their neck.
There's little dog. Everybody's got their stupid little frou-frou dog walking around. There's little kids. Like, you can't just leave fucking broken glass shards everywhere. You know what the fuck? And it was a pint glass, so at least when they break, they're kind of like
solid.
auto glass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They don't shatter.
No, this did shatter though.
Oh, it blew up.
Like,
usually it's just chunky.
It must have hit. I mean, it is like a granite top, so it must have hit that first or something. Who fucking knows? So I'm cleaning up, and now I set a water down in front of him, hoping that he'll just get the point. You know what I mean? He's only got this drink open, which he didn't really drink. I'm just gonna write it off as the spill tab.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've already got it rang in, so I can't just be like, oh, whatever. Who gives a fuck? Like, I'm just gonna say he fucking knocked his drink over. I cut him off because of it. Please comp or void whatever you got to do to solve this, right? So 5 minutes go by. He's like, am I cut off? And I'm like, yeah. I go, and actually, you're the first person that I've ever had to do that to at the airport. I go, I've worked here for more than a year. I was really wondering
if it was ever going to happen.
If it was ever going to happen, know? And he goes, he can't believe it. You know what I mean? So he stumbles away or whatever. And now he lost his hoodie. So now he keeps coming back like every 5 minutes. Like,
why is he my hoodie?
I need to speak to a manager. I'm like, what do you think? I stole your fucking hoodie, bro? You know what I mean? So then he talks to a manager. Now they know he's fucking hammered.
Yeah.
So now not only are you cut off with me, now you're cut off with them. And now they're like, hey, did you tell the other bartenders that they shouldn't be serving this guy? And I'm like, I just did right now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So now you're really fucked, bro. You're not getting any drinks anywhere. You can't find your fucking shirt. You probably left outside on you.
And not to mention, this motherfucker's missed his plane. It's like, where are you getting on a plane today? What the fuck are you even still doing at the airport?
He sat down at the bar at like within the first half hour of me opening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe even the first 5 minutes of me opening, and had already missed his plane, and he wasn't rebooked until after my shift ended.
Yeah.
So I was like, bro, you're at this airport now. You
for the next
showed
9
up
hours.
hammered. Yeah, and you're here for 8-something hours waiting for your next plane, and you're still going to continue to drink and shit. And it's like, I don't care how old you are or how much of a seasoned drinker you are and shit. If you have fucking 3 or 4 double captains and whatever, you don't eat anything, you're hammered from the night before, you're fucked, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, like, as I was leaving, like, the manager was like, hey, that guy's giving the gate agent a bunch of shit. I bet he doesn't get on his plane. And like, I just had shit to do, so I didn't get to see how it panned out. But the next,
I guess we'll have to hear the end of that story.
Well, I had to open the next day.
Oh,
right?
okay, gotcha.
And that was like my biggest fear. I was like, bro, I know this motherfucker got booted out of the airport, and he's gonna be the first one. You know what I mean?
Waiting
trying
there
to get
for
out
you?
of Dodge. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I never saw him again. But now I can. Every time I go for a shift, I'm like, fuck, he's gonna be coming back from California. Like, I'm a real smart ass. Like that's.
You got to be a special kind of drunk, though, to be drinking at the airport you're arriving at, though. Like, no? Like, don't you just like...
The airport you're departing from.
Well, no, departing, I get. You show up, you have a couple drinks, you get on the plane, you go on your merry way. But you're arriving at the airport. You arrive at the airport, and rather than going on to doing whatever it is you have to do outside of the airport, you go sit down at the fucking airport bar.
No, that's how you got it messed up. He's going to California.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's going to California, so coming back, though. That's what you were worried about when he's coming back from California.
People do that, though.
That's fucking wild.
No, people will get off the plane and be like, I got 2 hours before my ride's going to be here. And just proceed to get fucking hammered. Like, all right. And it's always like when you work the night shift, too. You're like, fuck, dude. Like, I could really close right now if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And now you're sitting here, and now like 5 other people are going to be like, let's have one. And I'll be like, all right, fine, fuck it. I'll serve one more round. Maybe I'll get fucking 50 more bucks out of this.
Yeah. And you never do. It's always like 18 more, and you look at it, and you're like, I wish I didn't even do this.
Yeah. Dude, that brings me into, I feel like I've discovered a new archetype of like man that sits at the bar.
Yeah.
And he's like, he doesn't respect the male bartender.
Yeah.
Because he's like in some type of trade,
yeah,
right?
Because it's 1957.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then also like his whole goal is to like not cash out. Like he's aware that there's a shift change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And his whole goal is to scam the guy bartender into flipping the check onto the girl's night shift.
Yeah.
And then say, well, I gave him a cash tip. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, so that way all he has to do is tip fucking $4 on a $90 tab. Yeah.
So this guy, and I heard this guy, that's what made me perk my ears up to it. There was one guy, he cashed out twice, and he took care of me. He gave me like a 20 on 30, or it might have even been like a 40 on a 26 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, gave me a tip where I had to be like, yo, I appreciate you, my man. And he kind of gave me the look like I know what's up. You know what I mean? Maybe he used to work in the industry, or he's got somebody in his family that does. And so then the guy, he leaves, and then he comes back. He goes, all right, one more. I got time for one more. And usually in a situation like this, these guys are like, they're on the windmills, or they're doing something where it's like a pack of dudes that all meet at the job site, and then they disperse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So these guys all have like different flights heading out. So some of them will leave, some of them will stay. You know what I mean? So it's a situation like this. So this guy's got like a $72 tab. He tells the other guy, oh, you really love the bartender, huh? And at this point, the guy's giving me either $50 or $30. If it was a 20, then he gave me another 10, or maybe it was a 40 and he gave me another 10. So at this point, he's giving me somewhere between $30 and $50. And now this guy's like breaking his balls about him leaving a good tip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now in my mind, I'm like, oh, dude, I'm going to fucking bury this guy when he's done. And then so his other friend cashes out. He gives me a friendly tip, like a 20 on 72 or something like that. You know what I mean? Better than you would expect. And these are like Southern construction worker types. Like, I don't expect much.
Well, right now, I was going to say, right now you're like pitching a perfect game.
I am. As soon as I hear that Southern draw, I'm like, fuck, fuck, fuck. So then the other guy he gives me a good tip. You know what I mean? And I'm like, there's just this one guy left. And I'm like, these guys all give good tips because they know you're a piece of shit, right? So now I'm waiting. Everybody else is cashed out. I go, bro, I need to cash this check out so I can flip the drawer. He's like, all right, I got you. He still carries on this conversation. I'm like, guy, you're the last one left. Like, I need you to pay this tab out. You know what I mean? I'm still being friendly about it. I'm not like, pay your fucking tab. I got to go. Like, you just phrase it like, look, we have to do this. You know what I mean? Like, she's coming on.
This is the thing that's happening.
Yeah, like, I just got to facilitate. Everybody else is mad friendly about it. You know what I mean? He didn't seem to take exception when he finally put his card down. Then he puts his card down, gives me fucking $10 on 72.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I fucking know it, bro. Like, $10 isn't even a good tip on 50 anymore, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Where's my other fucking $5 to $7?
Yeah.
Like, your friends literally all blessed me because they know you're a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
And if I didn't get so fired up about the holiday schedule before I left, I was gonna fucking bury him with it. And like, as soon as I got in my car, before I hit that bong, I go, fuck, I wanted to curse that motherfucker out before I left. And that might be the best part about working in a fucking union in front of the house deal ever, because like, you can just get mad, and it's like, well, write me up for it, and then do it 2 more times, and then it will really be an issue. Who fucking cares?
Yeah. Are these dudes like regulars of yours, or are they just like because they're like the windmill guys? Do they come like every 2 weeks or something, or is it?
Yo, and that's what drives me nuts the most. Like, you're mad at me for being a male bartender, but you're the fucking idiot that signed up to work this job.
Yeah.
You could just be smiling like a dork like me and fucking pouring mimosas all day, but instead you want to go work in a pussyless, alcohol-less, booze-less environment with a bunch of fucking ball sweat fucking dingleberries
Yeah.
rolling around. Like, don't be mad at me about your life decisions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, your life is the way that it is because of you, and all of the action. It is a summation of the actions that you have taken in your life.
Yeah.
Fuck you. So, yes, there are regulars, but you would have to catch them like when they're coming out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more how they're dressed, the logos. Like, I've started to recognize logos of companies because they'll all have, like, you know, jackets or hoodies or whatever. And just like, I don't know, you'll hear them talking about shit and you're like, oh, these guys work on the fucking boat. These guys are on a boat somehow. You know what I mean?
But like you see like the same dudes though, you think, like on a regular basis, or is it just a rotating cast of dudes who work for this company? Like, to me, like, when you were describing the airport, like the scene, I was like, the best part of it sounds to me like I'm hardly ever going to see the same person twice.
You're right.
You know? Yeah. So I mean,
if you take a Monday shift, you'll see a lot of people because a lot of the business guys fly out on the same Monday all the time.
That's fair.
But you'll see guys that travel. Like, you'll definitely be like, I've waited on this guy a lot here. I've waited on this guy a lot here.
Yeah.
But I started taking sneaky pictures of the dirtbag boat guys.
Dirtbag boat guys,
like the guys that work on fucking boats, build the windows.
Right,
like, if they tip me like shit, I snap a little fucking thing so I review it.
Remember
while I'm
them?
taking shit. Be like, yeah, I remember you forever. But I haven't. I referenced my source material on these guys when they sat down.
They didn't.
I was like, I don't think they're any of these guys.
They're a new breed.
Oh, and another thing, this dude. So recently, Belichick became the coach of North Carolina. So I'm like, and I've always been a Jordan guy. But my grandfather was a Duke guy, so I've always been kind of conflicted. I've never really had a college team. My pops was a Hurricanes guy, so I feel like I've always kind of gone there. But
Duke had a big week too.
When Belichick signed, I was like, oh, I guess I'm a fucking UNC college football guy now. And this guy, the last guy that fucked me, had a UNC hoodie on, and now I'm like, fuck that, fuck you. You don't deserve Bill. Eat a dick. I'm glad we burnt the South to the ground in the War of Northern Aggression. Yeah.
Did you hear about the Duke lacrosse players?
Oh yeah, they got vindicated.
Like she ended up like admitting that it was all a lie.
Did any of them go to jail?
I don't think so. I mean,
cares?
I think even at the time they kind of like got like the charges dismissed or whatever. But it was just one of those things where like their fucking lives got ruined.
Yeah,
like I think a lot of the seniors like didn't get to play their senior season. Well, like I give a shit about that anyway. But still, it's just like. I mean, they basically just got torn through the fucking mud for.
I wonder
bullshit.
what did she make up? Did she make up that it was against her will, or did she make the whole story up?
I think she made the whole story up.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I don't know. Anyway, circling back though,
it would just be interesting to be like, no, like I liked it.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Was that?
Oh no, they definitely all gangbanged me. It was just I just loved it.
Like, I was into it. The guy I was dating at the time, he couldn't find out, or we weren't going to get married.
Well, no, I think she was just.
And now that I've had 2 kids with him, and.
Well, I think that's what she got arrested for some crazy shit, like regarding her kids. I can't remember what the fuck it was. I think she like tried to kill him or something.
That's my kind of woman.
Yeah. Anyway, circling back to the regulars thing though, like I've done something terrible. I think last night I like inadvertently made a terrible regular. Like this girl comes in and it's with like her weird boyfriend, and they're annoying as fuck. All she does is ask me stupid questions. She's like, I'm like talking to people like at, you know that bar, but I'm talking to people like on one end of the bar, and she's all the way at like seat 114. She's just like yelling at me the entire time as I'm like trying to take an order, and this woman is not even drunk. Like she's just naturally a fucking annoying person, right? But whatever, man, it wasn't that busy, and I was trying to just make some extra cheese, so I was just trying to put my nice fucking foot forward, so every bit of energy she was giving me, I was just giving it right back, like, I was breaking her balls a little bit, as I'm wont to do, but, like, most people find that funny. Like, they don't understand that I'm actually fucking with them.
Yeah.
They think it's funny. So she loves me, right? And all of a sudden she goes like, what days do you work? And I'm like, I work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I'm going to come back every Tuesday. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this is physically exhausting. I look at her boyfriend, dude. Like, he looks like I bet you he's 23 years old. He looks like he's 53 years old. Like, the life force is just being sucked out of this motherfucker, like, and I could feel it. I'm, like, visibly more tired, like, than I was 45 minutes earlier. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, if this fucking woman comes in every Tuesday, I have to change my availability.
Yeah.
Like, I straight up cannot stand to do this for every Tuesday for the rest of my fucking life. Like, this is insane, lady. Like, has that ever happened to you where you just, like, accidentally make a fucking terrible regular? And you're just like, what am I doing?
We all know his name.
Oh, who are you thinking of?
MS.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Once that motherfucker starts coming to your bar,
yeah, it's like a fucking...
you're like, oh, my fucking God.
It's a cancer.
It's like if I was a fucking dog, I would leave the room right now.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but I have a lady like that used to come into that bar, and she was like one of the last people being like, where is he?
Yeah.
Where is he? I want to know where he is.
It's like very far away from you.
And it was like, and then finally, I think Ryan told her, and I was like, you motherfucker. I was trying to get rid of her for forever.
Yeah.
And then she came in to see me, and I was like, yo, you know where Ryan works now?
Yeah. She passed
you
him
guys
right
should
back.
check that place out. If you guys want some great quality cuisine, locally sourced, oh, man.
I will admit
the
that
best.
I did that too. Like anybody who came in and annoyed me, and then at some point in time or another said like, "What happened to the guy who had the beard back here?" I'd be like, "His name is Ryan. He works at the at fucking blah blah blah. Go see him.
Go see him, please.
He's gonna love you."
He told me he misses you.
Yeah, tell him I sent you. You know.
Yo, that would be such a funny thing, like a take on Dinner for Schmucks, but like it's like you just sending the most horrible people to your bartender friends.
Yeah, sending them your way.
Yeah.
I know the perfect place for you right now.
You guys know about buy one get one filet?
I'll fucking kill you if you tell people about that shit. Oh my God,
dude. The best is like I had these people at the airport, and they were talking about the spot. Right? They didn't say anything about that yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm always torn between shitting on that place and not. And I was like, whatever, let them have it. I don't want to come off as a fucking curmudgeon.
Yeah.
And then they were like, and they got the best deal. And they started talking about that. And I was like, oh, you know what? You're already garbage people anyway. I'm not going to waste any more time with you.
And you didn't even dissuade them?
Huh?
You didn't even dissuade them, huh?
No, they were telling other people about it.
Yeah.
They're spreading the gospel of Monday night. And I was like, oh, you're those guys? All right. I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm not buttering you up.
Don't waste your time with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Last night I had a fucking a rare one. Just everybody who was sitting at the bar was like more annoying than the fucking last person. Must have been like a full moon or some shit. Anyway,
I mean that is a solid thing, like you were saying about the airport though. Is like unless you're on a delay, like the crazy man that I had to cut off, it's like nobody is there for that long.
Right? Yeah. So it's
like
it's constant like 1 hour microtransactions.
Yeah.
You know,
if that, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're not serving like 4-course meals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're like. I bet if you average it out, it's like 1.7 drinks and one food item.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
which I mean sounds like fucking heaven.
Like you
that you could literally tattoo that on my ass. That would be my fucking dream.
Yeah. Like I want to say, I feel like I've been sharing the financials with you. It's like more often than not, like 1/3, 2/3 cash, 2 credit.
Yeah.
And it's like I want to say like the system that we use, it keeps like a little number when you go in and like finalize the credit card receipt. So it'll show you that you have like 37 or 38 or whatever, however many tabs you've closed out.
Yeah.
It tracks that. You know what I mean? So if let's just say it's at 40, it's like you're probably safe to assume you got another 10 or 15 cash transactions to go along with that. You know what I mean? So you're closing out like 60
tabs.
50, 60 checks on shift on an average. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like I could wear this whole uniform all over again. Like I could even wear my undershirt again.
Yeah.
And if you know how much of a sweat bag I am, it's remarkable to close out that many tabs, not get sweaty. You know what I mean? Like
I remember a few nights with you eating too many gummy bears and you just looking at me like a fucking deer in headlights. Yeah, like I don't know, man. It's like I think I took too many. Yeah. It's like just breathe, dude.
That might be one of the few times that I've ever
my scorpion bowl,
I've ever like actually been like
I've gone too far.
Like it's like I needed a friend to tell me that everything was okay, and you were like, "Fuck you, bro. Make my drinks." I'm like, "Oh no, he knows. He knows. He knows I'm not made out of metal."
Yeah, that's all right. Anyway, I have it's another kind of like regular adjacent note that I have. If you're a dude who goes into a bar that you used to go into like 20 years ago, and you're now like a 50-year-old man, there's just no reason to tell the bartender what it was like 20 years ago. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
And furthermore, if the only thing you have to say about anything is that, like, this place used to be fucking hopping 20 years ago, it's like, you're such a fucking loser of such epic proportions that I can't fucking believe that you've wasted both of our times saying that sentence out loud. A, I don't give a shit. And B, like, you've done nothing in 20 years other than compare and contrast what this place was like. You're a fucking loser. You're a fucking loser. 50-year-old dudes should just be euthanized. And that's coming from a guy who's now 41.
Pushing it, yeah.
Like, I'm 9 years away from, like, push me off a fucking cliff. I don't care. You know, like, just end it.
I don't want to see that. I'd like to think we have a future going to McDonald's together in the morning as crotchety old men barely able to drive their Crown Victorias anymore.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I guess it'll be Teslas.
I mean, to me,
They'll drive us.
I'm fucking tired of, like, just 54-year-old dudes who think that, like, they led such interesting lives. It's like, what, you think you're the only motherfucker who ever got drunk in a bar in Providence?
Yeah.
Like, and you think I want to hear about it 22 and a half years later? I don't fucking care. You know? Nobody does. Next time you have a story that you want to fucking indulge me with, just fucking jam it down your fucking throat and and die of a heart attack eventually, not telling anyone anything.
That's like me sitting down at a bar and being like, I used to have 32 pairs of Jinkos.
Yes, exactly.
like the bartender down being like, who gives a fuck?
I used to have Airwalk sneakers that were 3 different colors. It's like, Nice one, pal. Who gives a shit?
Back in my day, the population only was 30% positive for herpes. Now it's 50. What's happening?
Are we up to 50?
I think so. Yeah. All these people are living too long.
You people need to fucking wrap it up, man.
Yeah, I guess that's dangerous.
What, condoms?
No, like the rate of fucking STDs and fucking sexually transmitted fucking diseases and infections going around nowadays.
I mean, is HPV still a thing? Everybody's got that shit at this point, right?
I feel like I remember one time as a single man where a girl was like, "What are you doing with that?" to my raw dick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she was essentially being like, "Put a condom on."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But every other time it's just been like, "Who fucking cares?"
Yeah.
This is the 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so many things I would be screwed on. Like, I just saw these guys, this dude, he's like the nephew of the chief of police. He got arrested for being like a big drug lord.
Oh, really?
With like fentanyl and shit. And he was they found his drug lab and he was manufacturing fake OxyContin pills out of like his own custom fentanyl blend. Yeah. But it's like that's what I was into, bro. I was into pills. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I would ever think that this is a counterfeit pill.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah, now it is. But I think I would have been the first ones to get gut on that.
Yeah.
If I didn't get out of the game when I got out of the game, your boy would have been in big trouble, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Big trouble. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then I think he got like he only got like 26 years. Like for all,
I think only 26 years is a long fucking time.
I feel like if you're selling like that much fentanyl, like how have they not traced a death back to you?
How do you don't have like murder 2 charges?
Catch a manslaughter charge? Is that because you're like that's what being the nephew of the chief of police gets you? It's like you don't get a life sentence, you just get
26
the rest
years
of your livable life. Yeah. Like they'll wheel you.
They get to roll your ass out of prison when you're like 58 years old.
Who's the dude that says fuck? He writes on the rafters.
Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks is here. Yeah,
Brooks is here. Yeah. So you've seen that movie? There you go. Yeah.
I feel like there's a
get busy living or get busy dying.
My dogs are making a ruckus up there.
They're probably butt fucking each other.
Yeah. Gross.
Yeah. What?
Thinking about my dogs doing that.
Why are you hard right now?
Yeah. Well, the red rockets do that to me.
Yeah.
You know that I don't know why this just sparked me back, but the whole thing that I was talking about, the planet Nibiru coming and stuff like that. There's evidence that I guess that you can look up that Dick Cheney tried to convince the state of. Give me a state that starts with a W.
Wisconsin, Wyoming.
One of those two.
Okay.
To buy an aircraft carrier.
Okay. Well, Wisconsin, I don't think would be outlandish because that one touches a. Like, are you looking for one that like would just be bizarre for them to own an aircraft carrier?
Yeah, wherever it like
Wyoming probably.
Yeah. Okay. So like
Wisconsin, I think at least has the Great Lakes.
Why would he try to convince them to buy a fucking aircraft carrier? It's like because you expect this crazy event to happen where like the Mississippi River takes on salt water.
The Cheneys also have like money in like fucking like they're.
Yeah, because you're part of the breakaway civilization that's going to live, dude. It's Noah's Ark 2.0.
I feel like I'm going to talk out of turn here, so I don't want to fucking. I have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure the Cheneys have like actual like military like they own like a military production company or some shit.
They like funded all. They were the ones that we gave all the money to make 9/11 happen.
Cheney, Halliburton, and
Halliburton. He had to like step down as like the head of Halliburton while he was like the vice president.
Yeah, so an oil, and they provide construction military. Yeah, so they want to sell a fucking aircraft carrier to Wyoming because they were just like, "Fuck you, idiots! Buy an aircraft carrier from us." You know?
Maybe.
So it's probably
That's like Lord of War on steroids. Like when he sells the tank and he's like all proud of himself.
Yeah.
Like Lord of War 2, he's got aircraft carriers.
Yeah, aircraft carriers delivering them to fucking Nevada. You know, it's like. What are we doing here, guys?
He's like, did you guys ever have a flag as a kid? Well, think about this now. Pick up now, I guess, from us running out of disk space.
Yeah.
Big deal. Go fuck yourself.
We're still fucking idiots who don't know how to do this shit, so fuck you.
Just another thing on the checklist to manage next time.
Yeah.
But I was trying to explain, I don't know what the fuck we were watching, some kind of news program in the background. And they were talking about how whoever Trump appointed or some shit, like they want to release the Epstein list. They want to release all the P. Diddy information and all this shit, right? And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, dude, if you're more into politics than you are into sports, like this is like when the rumors of like the Balco list and everything were coming out in baseball. You know what I mean? You're like, oh shit, like there's like this list of cheaters and bad guys.
The Mitchell list. Mitchell something? Like the Mitchell.
Well, there was a thing, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's nameless anonymous tests that they put out, right?
Yeah, that was supposed to remain anonymous.
All the players got tested, but somehow once the Balco labs got raided, and this became like a legal matter, these documents all got put into the courts and stuff.
Yeah,
and then
the names got attached.
Then
to
the
things.
documents got leaked, and there was basically like a key that the Mitchell was the guy doing the senator who was like investigating it.
Yeah,
but there was this anonymous list, and then basically there was like a decoding key. And that decoding key somehow made its way to this leak of the documents.
Yeah.
And then somebody figured out how they could fucking decode the list and put the names and release the names. And this guy.
That's how David Ortiz got busted.
This guy but he never officially got. Like David Ortiz never officially got disciplined by MLB.
Well, because it was supposed to be an anonymous test that he failed. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
but he still did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't. I'm saying he didn't get caught like red-handed like A-Rod. Andy Pettit, Roger Clemens, Rafael Palmeiro, all these guys that are like big names in that court case being like, I didn't do it. And then like that shit comes out. It's like,
but that's just it. He did get caught red-handed, but the MLB couldn't discipline him because it was meant to be an anonymous test.
Okay,
yeah. So,
but regardless, I just remember this time brewing of being like, holy shit, like this is the biggest thing in like the sports world, like this list coming out. Yeah. So then I had to like explain to my lady this crazy thought that I had. Be like, oh, this thing in real life? No, this is just similar to this made-up game that we play.
Yeah.
And this sketchy situation.
Only times 1,000. You know, you must be fucking anticipating the Epstein list like no other. You know?
Me?
Yeah.
It makes me the whole thing we talked about the CP before with Adam Sandler, that's a real heartbreaker to me.
I don't think that's true. Like, just because you say pizza party, like my kids go to pizza parties, that doesn't mean that they're fucking, you know.
Why are you talking about it on fucking Ellen? Why? You're like a famous person talking about Jennifer Aniston has great pizza parties. Like, what the fuck is that?
Well,
you and your celebrity friends get together and make pizzas together?
What's more likely? Like, again, what's more likely? That he's going on to Ellen, a nationally fucking televised show to dare people to find out that he's into fucking illegal porn? Like, no. Like, he probably just meant pizza parties. I'm almost positive of it, you know? Rather than just, like, trying to, you know, add fucking code words into, you know, innocuous interview, you know? Like, I don't think he's just out there being like, I'm so clever, they're never going to decode this.
No, it's like something, it's like the fucking Illuminati's making him say it.
Yeah.
You know, like suck his dick or suck his quota of dicks or something. And now they're like, all right, now you got to go on.
Well, now you got to go on TV and admit that you watch CP.
Really
Yeah.
like that pizza.
Anyway. I think I got time for one more topic. If we want to hit something else.
Oh, dude. I was also recently turned on to the ability to tell somebody's political affiliation by their glasses.
I feel kind of like triggered by that, but all right. Yeah.
I feel like your glasses are like plain, like they're normal enough.
Plain enough?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you go into like the fucking weird, like rounded, like professorial looking kind of glasses.
Like anybody that's like trying too hard, I'm like, oh,
yeah, you're a Democrat.
this is just because you didn't want to dye your hair.
Yeah, exactly.
This is like the same thing.
Yeah.
But
So you don't like needles. That's why.
I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
I have I don't know what made. Oh, so I was doing like a little bit of Christmas shopping with my lady.
Yep.
And we went to Ulta, I think it's called.
Yeah, the makeup place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is just like the fucking makeup section of Macy's, like in a store.
Yeah.
So we go in there, and there's like all these. So basically, like you go in there as like a fucking pain in the ass customer, and like these ladies are working, and you're like, oh well, kind of do me up a little bit and let me see what
it
this
looks like?
product's all
Yeah.
about. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's what you're doing in there. Like what the fuck? So, but I'm like looking at that, and I'm like, yo, like. I remember one time I was Beetlejuice for Halloween. It was
Yeah.
like full fucking face makeup. You know what I mean?
The whole nine.
Couldn't touch my face. Like I remember it got my whole face done. I got in the car and I was like, dude, it's so fucking hot in here. And I went like this.
And it's just half of it
the
was
girl
off?
who did my makeup was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So we had to fucking, I had to go back in, get my face done all over again.
Yeah.
And so that came screaming back to me as I'm watching all these girls get their fucking makeup put on. And I'm like, yo, so like every day as a girl in makeup is like a
You just
day
can't touch your face.
as you having like a Ninja Turtle face paint at the fair. Like that's every day. Like every day abroad is just like putting on their best like Michelangelo.
Yeah.
And you can't touch it.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. Like
sounds
what
awful.
are we doing?
I don't know.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like it looks nice. Like girls that are good at doing their makeup, you look nice. I'm not trying to shit on you.
I don't
like,
know,
I
though.
think-
How many girls, though, are actually good at doing their makeup? Like, I feel like makeup is the kind of thing where if you don't notice it, it's better. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, if you look at a girl and you're like, and you immediately see makeup, that means that something went horribly wrong, probably, you know? So it's almost like it's
Yeah.
a thankless kind of fucking endeavor anyway, because it's like, really all you're trying to do is to do yourself up without looking like you've done yourself up, you know?
Yeah.
Like anybody with an insane amount of makeup on, you're just like, oh, you're a fucking crazy person, like right off the bat, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's like part of your personality as a broad, I guess. I don't know. Like if you're like fucking doing glitter and like the purples and the greens and shit, it's like obviously that's not natural.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying
You know,
though, if
like-
you're doing glitters and purples and greens, and or you have those fucking the eyelashes that have like the clumps in them
Bro,
now,
have you seen
like that's
have
like
you
a
seen-
thing now. Yeah,
Have you seen Ari Spears? Is that the guy's name? He used to be on like SNL.
Ari Spears. Oh, the
He's a-
dude
he's
who
like
was
a-
on Mad TV, the black guy.
Yeah, he's a black
Aries,
comedian
Aries
that does
Spears?
like that
yeah.
does impersonations.
Yeah.
He goes on this whole rant about broads with their lashes being too much.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the rant, he takes his hat and glasses off, and he has like the biggest fuck. He's like, "Do you see how stupid you look?
Yeah.
You see how dumb this looks?" Like
Yeah.
he's just fucking going on at it.
Yeah,
Like,
well, it's like not only is it like the length of the fucking eyelashes, but it's also like I don't know. Again, I don't even know if it's like bad makeup or if this is how it's supposed to be. But they are all like clumpy and like fucking weird now. Like I don't know if that's the style or what, but I don't know. Like I said, to me, don't wear makeup, and I'll be like, if you're doing it for men, I think you're chasing the wrong fucking, you know.
yeah.
There's just no reason for it. Like, I don't think the average guy would notice at all. I don't think, that said, though, I don't think they do it for us. I think they honestly do it for themselves.
They do.
Women are like they're just riddled with insecurities. I don't get it. Like, just be yourself. Like, why are you fucking like killing yourself? And then they make it seem like it's for us. You know, it's constantly like, you know, my wife's constantly like doing shit where it's just like, it seems like it's fucking terrible, and it's like, are you doing this for me? Because I don't need you to do that. You know?
Yeah.
It's just terrible. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Take a shower and fucking shave your ass. That's
yeah,
it.
There you go.
That's all
Yeah,
you need to do. You can win most men over with that.
Pretty much.
Just
you know?
clean the dirt out from like underneath your fingernails, and you're fucking ahead of
Yeah.
fucking most of this trash.
Exactly. You know, don't have a mustache or anything.
Oh man, that's brutal.
Have you ever hooked up with a chick with like kind of like little hair up there or whatever? Or do you see it in the right light and you're like, oh God.
Bro, I saw the fucking best, like, fucking prank, I guess you want to call it. Like, you walk up to your wife or whatever and be like, your hair looks so soft today. Is it all right if I touch it? And you go to lean in to touch it and you give her one of these instead. And the fucking broads get so mad,
she
dude.
Be pissed. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my first girlfriends had they made fun of her for like having a stash.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I didn't even want to like kiss her. You know what I mean? I was in like the 7th grade, like holding hands with her, and I was like, I don't think I want this to go any further.
This feels gay. Yeah.
Like my worst, I remember like walking around with her in the mall and like seeing my friends and being like, oh no.
Yeah.
No. And I was in the 7th grade. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm fucking. You know what I mean? Like, what am I even doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Just fiercely making out.
And then, true story later on in my life, right? I end up, so this girl, she ends up becoming like frenemies with like the girl that I dated in high school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I didn't really have much to do with her. And like I always kind of felt like, oh, you talk shit about the mustache a little bit. This girl don't like you. You know what I mean? And so we didn't like stay like, I guess we were friendly, but we weren't like friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
then she's frenemies with my high school girlfriend. And then I go away to college. And then my freshman Thanksgiving break back, we link up again.
Yeah.
And she becomes my girlfriend. And we go to spring break together. Yeah. Right? She's a fucking wild case on spring break, like getting like immediately like
just like a liability.
We literally walk into the hotel room, right? She takes the Jaeger out of like the cooler that was it, takes a big shot, shows everybody her titties, and I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? Like and
this ain't wife material.
Was a disaster the whole time. You know what I mean? It was like I had to like tend to her being too hammered and shit. She like
was she
lost,
like a crier too?
She like lost a shoe. Yeah, passed out drunk, crying and shit. Like I was just like, yo, like I am fucking done with this fucking broad. You know what I mean? I cannot fucking stand this broad anymore. Like I literally just stopped answering my phone.
Yeah.
Like that's how I fucking stopped communicating with this girl. Cause she went to school in Orlando. I was in Tampa, and I was like, yo, I'm just not If I fucking ever see you again, I lost my phone. I don't know what to do. I got a new phone. I didn't have your email or nothing. This is before Facebook and shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
it used to be so easy to drop off the face of the planet.
Never seen you again in my life. And funny story, I hope there's not too many people watching this that can connect the dots. But this is the girl who, like, every time I see her daughters on Facebook, I'm like, those girls are going to grow up and be such whores. Yeah. And there's nothing you can do about it.
I mean, it's
you know
genetics.
What I mean? Like, that's terrible.
It's
that's why you shouldn't. That's why you shouldn't put your kids on Facebook. I feel like.
Why? Because so your ex-boyfriends can't like look at them and judge them?
Yeah. Actually, I feel like I got to get rid of this broad because I feel like before I got married, like I got rid of like any.
You purged?
Like I got rid of any like hoe shit. Yeah. And it's like, well, I just felt, I guess she like identified more as like a friend from high school than an ex.
Yeah.
But I got to get rid of her. She's got to go.
Yeah.
86.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to see your future whores of a daughter on Facebook anymore. That's mean. I'm sorry I said that.
So I had an experience where I thought I got rid of one. Although I knew I was playing with fire the entire time. So my college girlfriend was from North Providence or whatever, right? So it was one of those things where like
echoing my greatest fear is my son's dating a girl from Rhode Island with an accent.
Pretty much. Yeah, but she was like I think she was either El Salvadorian or Ecuadorian, one of the South American countries that start with an E. I can't remember.
Something with brown nipples.
Yeah. But she was fucking hot, but she was crazy as fuck. Like nuts. Like she was actively trying to like get pregnant by me. Like 1,000%, I'm convinced of it. To the point where like I left college and I got a phone call like 2 weeks later and she's like, I'm pregnant with your kid. I'm like, there's no fucking way you're pregnant with my kid. She's like, I am. Like, you're not, but okay. You know? So I was just like, take care of it. I don't give a shit, whatever, And she calls me back like the next day and she's just like, I got an abortion. It's like, yeah, you founded a fucking abortion clinic in the last 8.5 hours. Like, that's what you're saying? Like,
had a clear book, huh?
Exactly. They just happen to have a fucking opening for you. It's like, whatever, lady. Yeah. So I was like, all right, okay, pal, whatever. But then, and we were a very toxic fucking, like I was drinking like all the time at this point. Like I was just a straight fucking maniac. And she was like a drunk mess too. So it was a college relationship. It was nothing,
Yeah.
But we were just fucking pieces of shit to each other towards the end. So college is over. That phone call happens, and that's the last I fucking hear from this bitch. And I'm just like, thank God. And I'm living in Connecticut at this point. So I'm like, never have to see her again forever. And when I moved to Rhode Island, in the back of my head, I'm thinking like, this is her stomping grounds. But I'm like,
Yeah.
but like, whatever. She must still be at college. We went to college in Mass. I'm like, so I'm probably safe. Like, I'm not going to run into her really here. And that was the case for a long time. I finally ran into her at the spot that we work at. She comes into the restaurant with her husband, right? And this was like maybe like two years ago, if
So
that.
you get to see like Ghost of Future.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
So she sits down, right? And I'm bent over because, you know, like the little cooler that has like the ice cubes in it. I'm bent over. I put like a cube inside of a glass and I stand up and it's just her just there looking exactly the same as she did like, you know, whatever the fuck it was, 14 years earlier, whatever, 12 years earlier. And it's just her. And we both lock eyes and she just goes, "Are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, fuck." Like I said that out loud right to her face. I was like, "Oh, fuck." Like, and enough time had passed where like we were kind of just like, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sober now. I'm not a drunk piece of shit. I apologize for anything that we had done or whatever. But she's still fucking crazy anyway. But it was just one of those things where, and also it was like right in front of her fucking husband. So it's like, this is the fucking weirdest thing that could be happening right now. It's like, I really wish this didn't happen. And the husband's like a super like, you know, quiet, I don't know.
I bet, yeah.
Yeah, but he was just like
a prisoner.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, and so it was just, I don't know. She has like kids now and shit, and I was just like, are any of them white and 6'2"? You know, like, oh shit. But yeah. So that was one of the fucking scariest moments of my life where I was like confronted face to face with like just a girl that I was like, I'm never gonna see you again. And I was like, oh fuck.
Imagine that's the daughter that one of the young Longs.
What do you mean?
Brings home.
Oh, I know. Yeah, no, oh my God. Oh, that would be fucking terrible.
You'd be like,
man.
oh my God, I thought I got rid of you. Now you're my fucking.
You're still in my fucking gene pool.
What do you
Honestly,
call that? What would that be?
We'd be in-laws. She'd be my she'd be my in-law.
Your in-law, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she just had to get in my gene pool somehow, you know.
Somehow she had to mix it up.
Yeah, no. She a couple times though did like the you know, because I'm an idiot. I could count on one hand how many times I've used a fucking condom. But a couple times she did like the scissor lock on me, you know, like that kind of shit. You know, it was like,
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's not a joint decision.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like, get off of me. I'm coming. Fuck. All right. Well, it's whatever. It's only forever. You know,
it's only until I die.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. I got a get the brake job done the other day, and I had to take an Uber.
Yeah.
To go pick it up. Yeah, because I got it done out in the blue collar zone where I work at. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That is one good thing about working out there. You get recommended like the good
all the tradesmen
guys.
Yeah.
So I take my shit out there. I'm like, fuck. Like, they're like, it's ready. You can come pick it up or you can get it tomorrow. And I'm like, I really don't want to take an Uber to the airport today.
Right. That sounds like a fucking
So I'm going to go get this. I know I'm going to get fucked. You know, calling an Uber at 4:15 to be somewhere that should be 20 minutes away, but now you're in the middle of rush hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it ended up being like a $30 Uber or something like that. The thing comes up, fucking Guillermo is picking me up. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And all I can think of, I don't know if you've ever seen the show Weeds.
Yeah.
Like the guy Guillermo in there.
Yeah.
He's actually from Half-Baked, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, fuck, Guillermo's coming to pick me up.
He's the dude from the Chappelle Show skit, the copy store. Yeah.
Oh, I think he's in the fucking, he's the defendant in something where like they're at court. The home stenographer kid or something. He's like, you better wrap that shit. Oh no, it is.
Well, I'm thinking of the one, the copy store one. Yeah, where he has like the fucking Puerto Rican flag on his head or whatever.
It might be on the Wrap It Up box.
Yeah,
you know the Wrap It Up box skit where it's like somebody's talking too long and it's like you take out the Wrap It Up.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, because he's like, you better wrap that shit up, B.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I think Guillermo's coming to pick me up. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a ride full of Latin fun. You know? So I get in the car and what's fucking playing? Linkin Park. I'm like, is this motherfucker profiling me right now? Like
he saw your picture and was just like, I know exactly what this motherfucker wants.
Exactly what he needs.
I know what sad boy needs.
He's been tricked by them before. Yeah. And so I'm like,
if you give me 5 stars, I'll talk about your fucking shitty dad.
There is no way Guillermo is listening to Linkin Park ever. Even though some Spanish people do be listening to metal.
Yeah.
You know, they'll surprise you every now and then. They'll break out Sepultura, and you're like, what?
Yeah, but is it Sepultura, though, is like
They're
a
from, like,
Spanish...
Brazil.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're a Spanish metal band.
Yeah, but they got them. That's the gateway into, like, American metal. You
That's
know?
true.
Like, if you like Sepultura, you probably think Slipknot's cool.
Yeah.
You know, like... But anyway, so I'm like, oh, shit, do I have a Slipknot guy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, like... It must have just been like the worst top 40 pop list ever.
Oh, okay. So it's like total happenstance?
Yeah, like it went from like Linkin Park to like Mariah Carey
to Matchbox
like,
20. Yeah.
Maybe no. There was I want to say Creed or some other band that I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then like he didn't talk to me like the whole time. And then like traffic got bad, and then we just found peace with each other, being like, look at all these fucking idiots. I fucking hate all these people. Yeah. And I'd be like, how much do you drive every day? He starts laying on me, go, bro, I fucking drive to the airport and back every day. I fucking hate all these idiots. And, like, that's all we did is talk about like idiot drivers for like 10 minutes until he dropped me off. And then I said, you know what, bro? Here's all of the ones that I have in my pocket. That's your tip.
There you go.
Might have been like 16 whole bucks. And then I gave him another $5 on the app. So it's like a $65 Uber ride to go get my car.
Well, still, he better enjoy it while he can. Motherfucker, Elon Musk is coming for that job.
What do you think costs more, the labor or the parts to do brakes?
It's probably like 50-50, usually. Like, it's like the parts are, I mean, rotors, well, depending on what car you got. What is it, for the Honda?
No, it's for the Explorer.
For the Explorer? Okay. Yeah, the rear brakes are big. Yeah. Or no, the front brakes big on that.
Front brakes are supposed to do the majority of the work.
Yeah.
But I swear, when you're doing like warranty work, like they won't just do it because you want them to do it. Like there's got to be a significant enough amount of wear to do the job. So they wouldn't do a full brake job for me before the warranty ran out. They did the rear brakes. So maybe, I don't know, since I took auto mechanics in fucking 20 years ago, the rear brakes are doing more work. But as far as I knew, the front brakes did the majority of the work.
Yeah.
And they wear out quicker. So now it's like the front brakes this guy did for the first time at like 76,000 miles.
Yeah. I feel like brakes and rotors, like, part-wise, costs usually like $400, like $385 or something.
For the whole
For
thing.
everything.
Yeah, but this, I want to say the job was like $415 and like 173 of it was labor.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, that's about right.
Less than half. It's like 35%.
Yeah.
I was surprised by that.
Yeah. I mean, they're supposed to just charge you by the hour, so if it takes them 2.5 hours, and it's
but they don't charge you. They charge you by what the book says it should
it's
do.
supposed
so
to
if you're
take.
quicker, then you make more money.
And also,
which
like,
I don't have a problem with.
Yeah, and to be perfectly honest, I used to for a long time. I changed my own fucking brakes and shit, and I'll never do it again because it's just not fucking worth it. Like, it's first of all,
feel like gratified after doing it. Like,
yeah, sure. When my hands were like broken and split up, and like,
and you work in this industry and you're fucked for like the next week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're pouring vodka into a fucking open wound for the next 3 days, and then also it never failed, dude. You get to the fucking last wheel and something's fucked up. A lug nut is stripped. A fucking screw is fucking stripped or something. Something happens that makes that fucking last tire take the same amount of time as the 3 other ones combined, I just fucking hated it, It's just, it got to the point where I was just like, what am I doing this for, dude? I'm saving like maybe $300 or $400 and it's taking me fucking 4 hours to do it. It's like, I'll pay somebody else to do this shit. Like, it's not that much of a savings for me, you know? Like, I don't want to pay myself to be a fucking mechanic for a day, Yeah,
well, I used to be at the point, like, it would just be a total, like, cost benefit analysis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, could I do this for $200 versus do it for $500? But it's like, it's what I do. Like, I'm so good at my job now. It's so easy that I'm like, like, it's a whole day of work for me.
Yeah.
For this guy to take 4 hours to do something.
Yeah.
But it's like, I didn't work hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I just coasted through my day to make that money. Like, I don't want to say that I didn't earn it, but it's like this guy.
But you're not laying brick, Like,
So I'm saying, like, these guys, I feel like it's like fine. Like,
well, and
even
for those guys,
you did this in 4 hours.
Yeah.
It took me 8 hours to make this. I don't care.
Yeah.
Here, You know what I mean? Like, it was worth it.
Yeah. Well, then
even
also,
though
you have to break into the cost of like all of the extra shit though. Like, it's easy for them to do the brakes because they pull your fucking car in and put it up on a lift.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm out there jacking the fucking thing up, putting the fucking jack
stand.
Yeah, jack stand underneath it. I'm the one fucking, and then also you get the fucking tire off and then realize something's fucked up. Now all of a sudden it's like, well, fuck, or you forgot something, fuck, or they gave you the wrong fucking pads, or they gave you the wrong rotors, and now it's like I have to put all this shit back together and then drive this fucking car back to AutoZone because I don't have another fucking car and go through that bullshit. Then I have to fucking argue with a fucking 19-year-old AutoZone employee. It's like, I don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah.
Like, I want to drop off my car and be like, fucking do it, and then I'll come pick it up and here's your money.
Yeah.
You know? Like, such a fucking pain in the ass. Anyway, I don't know how we got on the subject of that, but that's something I feel passionately about now. I
think it's a nice, well-rounded podcast. We hit on everything.
We
you know?
did. Yeah. Actually, I do got to get going though because we got Santa tonight. I'm gonna go visit Santa, Bass Pro Shop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you off today?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Wednesday's the day off.
Excellent.
Today's Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Good. So I'd be like, fuck, if it's Thursday, I'm fucked. I gotta get. Yeah. All right.
All right. Word.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Hook us up with all like, share, and subscribe for the holidays.
All right.
Oh, one more thing. When you were saying about that annoying lady like trying to fucking get your attention while you're taking an order, I didn't want to interrupt your story, but in my head it played out like, hey, happy holidays. I've got 3 boys and I'll be with you shortly.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Peace.
Later, guys.